Imagine this is the early 2020s. Ships stop sailing, airplanes are grounded, and factories in Asia fall silent. Suddenly, the world realizes that the most globalized system in history, our supply chain, can be collapsed overnight. From car parts to computer chips to toilet paper, the invisible threat of globalization snaps. Someone called it the end of globalization. What was it? Or was it something else? Perhaps the birth of re-globalization. Today, I want to explore a question that every global manager should ask. Are we truly deglobalizing, pulling back from international trade, or are we reglobalizing, rebuilding trade in a new shape? To understand this, we need to travel back 2 centuries to the roots of economic thought. In 1870, economist David Ricardo introduced the theory of comparative advantage. He said that countries should specialize in producing what they do best and trade for the rest. The idea built our economy. China made electronics, Germany built mechanics, and Mexico assembled cars. Each nation focused on efficiency, and the world prospered. But after 2020, something changed. Efficiency wasn't enough. The only goal, resilience, became just as important. The pandemic, the US and China trade war, and the conflict like Ukraine made countries ask, what happens if we depend too much on each other? This is where strategic trade policies enter. Government realizes they could no longer leave the trade to the invisible hand of market. They begin to shape it. Strategically, this US passes the CHIPS Act to bring semiconductor production home. The European Union invests billions in green energy independence, and China launches Made in China 2025 to dominate advanced manufacturing. In short, the trade stopped being purely economic, but it became political, technological, and strategic. We are not seeing the end of globalization, but it's rewriting. Let's look at what's actually happening. Production shifting from China to countries like Vietnam, Mexico, and India. Supply chains are becoming regionalized rather than fully globalized. AI and automation are reducing the cost of production closer to consumers. This is what economics now call friendshoring, trading and producing with political trusted partners. So instead of deglobalization, we are seeing multiglobalization. The world is in a shrinking, it's reorganizing into multiple connected centers. Here is where cross-political happens. Ricardo comparative advantage still matters, but it's being redefined by technology and geopolitics. AI, automation, and energy innovating are creating new comparative advantage. For example, a country rich in data and clean energy like Norway can now compete in AI computing. Mexico proximity to the US makes it attractive for near-shoring manufacturing. India's skilled labor gives it an edge in software and digital exports. Meanwhile, strategic the trade policy means government actively manage those advantages rather than simply letting the market decide. So, what does this mean for managers and decision makers? This it means that managing globally is no longer just about cost. It is about risk, politics, and resilience. Executives must now ask, where can I produce safely if a border closes? What political alliance affect my suppliers? And how can AI and sustainability make my value chain a future proof? Managers who understand this shift will lead the next wave of global businesses. Those who don't may find themselves stuck in a world that no longer exists. We are not witnessing a death of globalization, but its evolution. The 20th century built a world of efficiency. The 21st century built a one of resilience. So next time someone says globalization is over, just remember trade hasn't disappeared. It's simply moving, adapting, and rewiring. And as a manager, student, and citizens of the global economy, our task is not to resist this change, but to understand it, shape it, and thrive within it. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening.
Remember, this is not just a story. This is our future.